going on, guys? It's K-Dub here with another episode of CryptoZombie. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having an excellent weekend so far. Now, I had the meme prepared for Bitcoin over 29,000 this morning, and we are over $30,000. Can you believe we have hit a $30,000 Bitcoin right at the start of 2021? What an amazing way to start the year off. You can see right here, we broke through and we are just pumping and pumping. And I know there are a lot of people out there that are worried. They are scared right now, saying this is crazy. This is too overbought. There has to be a crash. There has to be a correction. Well, there is something we need to discuss, and that is the fact that Bitcoin has a major liquidity crisis happening right now. We were talking about this ascending wedge pattern yesterday in my video, which interestingly enough would typically be a bearish pattern, but no matter what happens, no matter what FUD comes out, no matter what the regulators say, Bitcoin is the honey badger. It continues to push higher and higher, and you know, that's the thing. Like with these resistances, this is a nice little graphic I found online. You know, eventually you keep hitting it, you keep hitting it, you keep hitting it, and finally you have that breakout. Now, I do want to realistically talk about one indicator right now that is flashing for Bitcoin, and the last time it happened, Bitcoin had a 38% correction. However, it actually signaled an even bigger rally afterwards. So in yesterday's video, you know, people were saying it's crazy, you know, talking about Bitcoin going to $500,000 in 2021. Did anybody think Bitcoin was going to hit $30,000 last year? I don't think so. So this thing can move a lot faster than you even think. And I want to show you why we're having a liquidity crisis right now and why this thing could get absolutely insane. Oh, not to mention the fact that Peter Schiff's own son disagrees with him, and Bitcoin literally just hit its highest levels compared to the gold chart. So we're going to talk about all that today. If that sounds good to you, you know what to do. If you're not subscribed, consider it. Yes, I am away from the studio. I do apologize if the audio is a little bit, not as good as it usually is. It's a little bit echoey in here. But that being said, guys, we need to dive directly into it. And also, guys, if you haven't checked out my BYBIT tutorial, my updated tutorial, you can make a ton of money by longing Bitcoin or shorting Bitcoin if you want, although I would not be shorting Bitcoin personally. You might be able to catch those dips, but I'd rather be longing the dips than trying to short the resistance. That's just me. We haven't seen a trend reversal yet, but if you haven't seen it, check that video out, popping up above. $200 bonus exclusively for CryptoZombies. Now, let's actually not look at my charts today. I want to look at some other charts because there are so many opinions circulating right now about what could be going on. Now, one of my favorite Twitter personalities is the Real VJ. Now, he says, at the gates of 30K, I see two possible scenarios. We are rejected at the wall, which we weren't, regroup possible multiple times, eventually taking 30K following 2017's trajectory, or number two, which is we scale the wall with little resistance following 2013, which is obscenely bullish. And as I said, I was preparing this video this morning. We broke that wall, guys. We broke that wall. We're beyond 29,000. We are absolutely skyrocketing, and you can see not a lot of these cryptocurrencies can keep up with Bitcoin right now. And that's actually why, like I said, I've been focused a little bit on Bitcoin. People like, oh, you don't give the altcoins enough love. There's one altcoin I've been giving a lot of love to, and that's Polkadot. And if we actually have a look at the Bitcoin price right now, you can actually see out of the top 10, the highest performing is literally Bitcoin at 20%. Ethereum hasn't even been that high in the past week, and Polkadot up 66%. So that's why I'm focusing on these right now. There will come a time when we need to start focusing on those low cap altcoin gems again. And when that time comes, we're definitely going to, focus on them because that's where the money is made, right? Bitcoin is wealth preservation, but altcoins can be that wealth generation, right? But let's talk about Bitcoin today because Bitcoin is absolutely stealing the spotlight. Now, so many people saying there has to be a top soon. But if you saw the meme in yesterday's video, what if there is no top? What if there actually is no top for Bitcoin? Because since there's endless printing of fiat money and limited amounts of Bitcoin, this top might actually never come. Or what if we do get the 30% pullback, but it doesn't happen until $45,000, $50,000 Bitcoin, right? So you have Barry Silbert over at Grayscale saying we did it. 20 billion in assets under management to end 2020, up from 2 billion a year ago. This is absolutely insane. And you can see right here it is official, Bitcoin miners cannot produce enough Bitcoin for the demand. You can see right here, they say last month, Grayscale added around 2.1 billion to its asset, which is it's almost 73,000 Bitcoin, individual Bitcoin. During that period, you can see right here, miners only generated 28,112. They say the figures underscore what many have described as an ongoing liquidity squeeze in Bitcoin, where large buyers suck up any available supply and remove it from the circulation, sending it into cold storage for long-term hodling. And here's the craziest part. We're actually having Bitcoin move like this on a weekend. So who is buying this? Is it the institutions? Because CME futures are closed right now. So who is actually buying the Bitcoin? We have seen the institutional frenzy. Are we starting to get the retail frenzy? Is the rest of the world waking up? The 7.4 billion people that have been sleeping on this planet on Bitcoin for the past decade, are they finally waking up? That is the question that we need to be asking ourselves right now. I mean, look at even, for example, Peter Schiff. You know, he talks about, you know, in the bizarro world of Bitcoin, gold is the new fiat. Clearly, Max Kaiser doesn't understand the concept of fiat or how it differs from the legitimate currency or actual money. And his own son, Spencer Schiff, actually goes on to say, Dad, your understanding of money is flawed. You think the key determinant of a money's soundness is possession of intrinsic value, a nonsensical concept. What differentiates sound money from fiat money is the former's emergence on the free market rather than by coercive state edicts. So, I mean, when Peter Schiff's own son is like, come on, Dad, enough is enough. Yeah, you know, gold is good, right? But come on, Bitcoin really is the new gold. In fact, Bitcoin is better than just the new gold. Bitcoin is the new Bitcoin. It's just a new standard. It's a new global standard that people are slowly catching on to. I like what Bitcoin Chris said. He said 2020 was the last chance for a regular person to get a whole Bitcoin. 2021 might be the last chance for a rich person to get a whole Bitcoin. By 2024, a wealthy person will find it difficult to attain one. If you have one now, the hard part will be keeping it. Practice hodling. And we have seen from the Bitcoin chart, if we look at the logarithmic scale, that essentially hodling has been the way to go, right? Now, let's talk about what Mr. Anderson says. He says monthly momentum reading. Now, this is the bearish, right? I know everybody's out there like, hey, K-Dub, stop being a Bitcoin bull. You know, you're gonna get all these noobs wrecked. They're gonna buy at the all-time high. Well, to be honest with you guys, you know, if you bought the last all-time high, you're up 50%. If you bought at 20K, it's now at 30K, you're up literally 50%. So that is absolutely insane. But having a look right here, monthly momentum reading, something interesting that he says he'll be on guard for, but not actionable by itself. Now keep in mind, the last and only time that Bitcoin saw a monthly momentum reading as high as what we're having right now, we saw a 38% Bitcoin correction. But before you freak out, here is the kicker. It actually turned out to be one of the best possible buying opportunities because it had a recovery intra-month and continued exponentially. So if we do actually have that 30% correction, which who even knows if it's going to happen now? And think about it, honestly, this is the most hilarious part to me. If we were to actually have the 30% correction right now from 30K, that would bring Bitcoin back to 20K. But think about this logically. So you're telling me that now the best time to buy the dip is at the previous all-time high, which means we'd literally be flipping the most important resistance as support? That is literally the textbook definition of a bullish trend. Okay, just gonna throw that out there, guys. Now, like Willy Woo says, you know, is it too late to buy? Are you looking to buy the dip? Are you watching this video right now saying, nah, K-Dub, I can't buy right now, it's too expensive, I gotta wait for the dip, I gotta wait for the dip? Do you know that I have friends who have been in crypto who understand how Bitcoin works, that were waiting for a dip all the way from 15K up until now and refused to buy in because they kept thinking it was gonna go lower. He says if you're looking for an entry to hodl Bitcoin long term, don't nickel and dime an entry. You're not gonna sweat a few $1,000s of non-perfect entries when it's 100K, 200K, 300K, right? Dollar cost averaging. Yes, we could trade. You know, obviously trading is fun, but it's not recommended for beginners. But if you are new, simply dollar cost averaging, just buying a little bit every week, sure, you might might buy some a little too high, you might buy some a little too low. But at the end of the day, Bitcoin has proven that it is the best store of value, a better store of value than even gold. In fact, you can see right here, Bitcoin has actually hit an all-time high in gold. You can see right here that Bitcoin is now worth 16.29 ounces of gold per Bitcoin. And if you want to see this chart pulled out, zoomed out all the way, let me actually look at this. Look at this blowing right through the high right here. We had a previous high. I can't see this number. We had a previous high right around here. It was around, what was it, 15 totally for the high. And now we've blown to 16.29. So this is insane. Bitcoin hitting an all-time high in gold, which means that it's the highest ratio for gold versus Bitcoin ever, which means that literally now, what is Peter Schiff even going to say now? Like what? I mean, and like guys, understand, like I don't have a problem with gold. I'm cool with gold. Unlike a lot of gold bugs who don't like Bitcoiners, I have no problem with gold. But right now, this is the living proof that Bitcoin is the store of value. I mean, it literally is. You can't deny these charts right now, right? So I think I lost my place here, guys. Where was I? Oh, so let's talk about some news and then let's get on out of here. So we have the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network branch of the U.S. Treasury working on cracking down on self-hosted crypto wallets. You know this, right? But now it looks like you have sort of some protest. So this would basically, they'd have to be reporting withdrawals of over 3,000 and you know, people are worried about their privacy, etc. And now they're saying that this doesn't make any sense. There's others that have highlighted that it is redundant and just a way to prevent users from controlling their own funds. The rule has created such a stir that U.S. Congress members are coming out against Treasury in a written letter. In fact, we have 9 Congress people that have signed a letter to Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin telling him to hold his horses. The proposal in question was made public just before the Christmas holiday, and it announced that the public would be afforded 15 days. A comment period consisting of 8 business days over 2 holidays is not appropriate, they said, for regulating an industry and could result in stakeholders being unable to meaningfully respond. So they're not happy about this. They're saying this is ridiculous. And, you know, just talking about Bitcoin specifically, we did have on December 5th, Brian Brooks, the head of Office of the Comptroller of Currency, and this was on an interview in CNBC's Squawk Box. He said killing Bitcoin is not the U.S. government's agenda. We're very focused on getting this straight. We're very focused on not killing this, and it is equally important that we develop the networks behind Bitcoin and other cryptos as it is that we're just essentially trying to prevent money laundering and terrorism and financing and stuff like that. So they're not looking to ban Bitcoin. Bitcoin is here to stay. It is the household name. It is the coin that everyone's looking at. Yes, it will trickle into things like Ethereum and DeFi and Polkadot and everything else. But right now, guys, like I said, the reason I have focused so heavily on Bitcoin is because that's where everybody else is focusing on right now. I mean, have a look at these top, you know, the top 10 coins right now, you know, even down to Chainlink. I mean, nothing is outperforming Bitcoin right now in the top 10 except for Polkadot, which obviously I've been talking about, you know, Polkadot for a while. I made my video yesterday where I do still believe Polkadot is going to $100, but if you disagree with me, that's fine. That's the beauty of free will. You don't have to buy any Polkadot. Doesn't matter to me, guys. You know, I'm buying Polkadot and I'm obviously every day accumulating Bitcoin. But, you know, talking about what's been going on, there might be something happening in the scenes, in the background, right? You see privacy coins, they dropped 10% after Bittrex announced that they were delisting Monero, Dash, and Zcash. And even though they accounted for a very small amount of volume traded for some of these coins, I think it was just enough to kind of scare people into realizing like, hey, you know, you have the comptroller coming out saying Bitcoin is not looking to be banned, and then you have them coming out also and sort of saying, hey, we may not be cool with these privacy coins. And like my buddy Elio Trade said, he said he converted all of his Tether to USDC. And for people asking, it's because USDC is far less likely to get the backhand from regulators. I'm not trying to stir FUD, just trying to give my audience some time to adjust into an identical asset that is less exposed. So there is some regulation coming. It is a little bit scary. You know, XRP is a security. You know, who knows? They could come out tomorrow and say Polkadot is a security, you know, and then boom, what are you going to do, right? This could happen, but that's why I always recommend, not financial advice, but I guess you could kind of say pseudo quasi financial advice, whatever you want to call it. I mean, definitely have some Bitcoin. And I know that like people buy Bitcoin, they go, oh, it's not making me enough money. It's not 10xing, it's not 20xing. But like I said, Bitcoin is that wealth preservation, right? You always want to have some kind of a portfolio in Bitcoin. I, you know, personally recommend something higher, like 80%, but for the average person, maybe 20% exposure, maybe 5% exposure. But I think personally not having Bitcoin in your portfolio is absolutely crazy. It's absolutely madness. And yeah, guys, congratulations. What a way to start the new year. So thank you for coming back to the channel. Had to get this video out. Like I said, I apologize about being in the box of shame and everything, but this is how I got to make videos when I'm not in the studio. So thank you again, guys, for coming back to the channel. You guys rock. You're the reason that I try to get these videos out. I don't think I can get a video out tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be a really tight day for me, but I should be back in the studio on Monday. So enjoy the day, guys. If you're interested, obviously we give away ledgers all the time. Drop a comment below. You are eligible. Also, don't forget to check out the BYBIT tutorial, which should be popping up right here, right now. And that is it for me. Until next time, my name's K-Dub. Stay crypto, and of course, peace out.